How's it going, fellow gamers? ChaosEclipse here. Today we are back on World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic. I know, big surprise, right? So we are still in the Blasted Lands. We have not leveled very much at all. We're still level 45. So we don't have any new skills or anything. But I did make some changes though. So the whole reason we are level 45 is because I had to go back to starter areas and kind of level something else, guys. I did not lie to you all. I don't want y'all to think that I did. We are eventually going to stick with mining and jewel crafting, like I said in the beginning of the series. I do think that those are going to be the best two to go ahead and level up. But for the time being, guys, we did get rid of mining. We still have our skinning, but we went ahead and went back with leather working. So a lot of you guys are like, well, why did you just stick with that to begin with? So we were making money off of the leather working. We were making a lot of money off of the mining. So with that, we are still up at like 850, guys. I mean, we're good on gold. We don't need a constant flow of gold like that. Don't get me wrong, that is amazing because we can always buy gear and stuff. But the problem is with this server, there's not too many lower levels. Like even if I do who right now to bring this up, and then we take a look at the levels right now. So let's just do our range, so 40 to 49, and then we go ahead and hit refresh. That is the people that are within the range of 40 to 49. So even if we did, and this might bring up a big number, but it's still not going to be that big. So even if we did 1 to 59, not even counting 60 or going into 70, because those are technically higher levels. So that is still not a big list. Don't get me wrong, it's obviously bigger, but there's only 50 people, guys. And a lot of these, I guarantee you, they're either leveling other skills for themselves. So like if someone is a really low level like this level 9, he probably has a level 80 already, and he's just leveling, you know, either he doesn't have a paladin or he likes paladin, so he went with the same class, but he's probably leveling professions on the side there. So if he already has, like we're talking about, jewel crafting and mining, he might be leveling something like herbalism and tailoring. That way he has another alt to do that, which I have done that before, but it gets really tedious and it does take up a lot of time. But it's definitely something you guys can look into. With that being said, there's not a lot of people that are going to be selling low level items, especially if all they're doing is leveling their alts. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll find like light leather and things like that, you know, for lower levels. But as far as low level gear, they're probably going to be buying gear, and they're probably just going to be either disenchanting it if they're an enchanter, or they're just going to be straight selling it to an auction house because they're probably already loaded with gold. So with that being said, that is the reason why I went to leather working. The whole reason we're not level 45 is because I leveled the leather working all the way up to 195 at the moment. That way we can start making leather stuff for ourselves. So we're not there just yet, but we're really close to making stuff for ourselves. As you can see, this highest cloak here that I have, which is also cloth, it's only for a level 32. The belt, which is our highest leather item here, that's for 34. So we're getting close to where we need to be with our leather working. So I haven't done that much of it, but I at least wanted to let you guys know that we are switching back to leather working, and we're going to go from there. We are close to a spot with leather working where you need to basically pick one of 3 different types of leather working, which it kind of branches off. After 60, it does go back to just standard leather working, but you can become and I believe this is still a thing. I'll have to look this up, but I'm pretty sure it's still a thing because I actually seen one when I was in Stranglethorn Vale. So you can go with elemental leather working, you can go with tribal leather working, or you can go with, what is the other one? Let me see, elemental, tribal, and I have no idea. There's 3 of them though. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 100% sure on that. Now you would think that for my class, because it's, you know, damage and things like that, and it doesn't have anything to do with magic or anything, it would probably be something like tribal that we would go with. Tribal, those are actually reversed. Tribal, if I'm not mistaken, actually goes with like your casters and stuff. So if you were a moonkin, that is what you would go with if I remember correctly. So we actually would need to go with leather working. At that point, we can make things called like Storm Shroud equipment and stuff like that, which is really high crit, really high attack damage, things like that. So that is why we ended up switching. Obviously, I will need to either buy those recipes, or at least some of them, or I can actually learn them from the actual trainer. Now, like I said, we are going to end up with mining and jewel crafting. I can almost guarantee that. But for now, at least, until we're in the higher levels, we're going to stick with leatherworking. That way we can not worry about our gear. We can just keep leveling, and we can actually craft our own gear and not worry about it. That way, if we're falling behind in gear, because like right now, we are still behind in some of the things. So I don't think that one is actually behind anymore. But let's see here. What do we have that's rated? So right there, that a neck piece at 37. We're 45. We should be higher than that with our neck piece. But at the same time, I can't craft a neck piece, so that doesn't really help that much. This one is 5 levels behind. Not really a big deal, but if we're at 45 with our leatherworking, we're actually making level 45 gear. I can almost guarantee that we can probably craft something better than what we have here. The bracers, those are at 32. I know we can craft something. We might even have something now, honestly. Nothing at 45, but we might have something higher than 32 for our bracers. So we have these. What level are they? 34. So that right there would give us at least a little bit boost in our armor. And it would give us spell power. So obviously we're not going to craft that, but that is something that we could at least take a look at. We also have these green welt bracers here, which is 33. So that might be something I want to look at. Honestly, I don't think I would do that just because we have the agility in this one and it only gives us 1 extra armor. But the hit rate and the crit would be nice as well. So if I had those items already, I would probably craft it and put it on, but I'm not going to farm those items just to craft this. So just things like that is what I'm talking about. I mean, you can actually get some really good use out of making your own gear. Even that right there would be pretty good. Increase attack power by 10, so... And it still has the 1 extra armor because that has 47, ours had 46. So like I said, there's definitely, you know, pros and cons to it. Even that right there, our agility is our main stat. So we would always want agility over stamina. So it's still the same level, still has the same armor. But we would definitely want to sacrifice that for stamina to get the extra 2 agility, or at least in my opinion, I would. And those items are actually not hard to get. These 2 items here, as far as the silken thread and the black dye, we can definitely craft, or not craft, but we can actually buy from a leatherworking supplier. And then the heavy leather, that's what I've been working on getting. But in the area that we're in now, I think this stuff gives the leather that we're looking for. So we're actually going to try it and see what happens. But I do want to say that right now, the quest that we have, if you look down on the bottom right now, it shows that this guy's level 46, which it also sets it up here. So he is only 1 level higher than us, but as you can see, all of the quests, and I'm sorry if this is really loud, guys, because I just noticed that it's actually kind of loud in my ear. So hopefully it's not that loud for you guys. I'm going to turn it down a bit, that way I'm not over talking the game. You guys won't notice the difference, but in my ear it will definitely be different. So let's see what it gives us here. So this is giving us thick leather, and this might be a mixture of thick leather and heavy leather, because sometimes it does that if you're like right on the cusp of actually going into the thick leather itself. But the main thing we are looking for is the heavy leather, so that we can keep crafting items. That way, when we have the other items, we don't have to worry about actually like going and buying those items ready like that. We can just farm it ourselves and just go forward with that. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out is, like I said, the levels here are level 50 as far as like the quest levels. If we take a look at the questing here, all of these are red. So technically they're a higher level than us. We should not be doing these, but these guys are only 46, 47. We're at 45, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal to try to take these guys out. We're probably just a little bit out of our range, because like that right there, how we just had 2 of them come at us, that is very sketchy for someone like a mage and things like that. Obviously, they have ways around it too. They can, you know, frost them in place, and then they can move away from them, you know. So it all depends on how well you know your class and what you think you can handle. If you guys come here, if they're yellow like they are here up in this part, not the red over here, but if they're yellow on where it shows the level at, I would say more than likely, no matter what class you are, you have a chance of killing them and not having an issue with it. If they're red, that is when it gets kind of iffy, just because, like I said, at that point it is going to depend on how good you are with your level. But when it comes to the actual quest showing up here as red, that's not that big of a deal for me, just because it's just letting me know, hey, you might be out of your range. You might want to be careful because if you pull more than one thing, you might actually die. So, and as you can see with these guys, they are putting a lot of poison on me. I didn't pop out for that one, but you can just use your abolish poison, and that will tick every so often. As you can see, it does. It attempts to cure one poison every 3 seconds, and it did go ahead and cure both of them even before that timer's up. And then, like I was saying, as a druid, we can always throw our heals up, and if we start running out of mana ourselves, we do still have this innervate where we can give mana back to ourselves. So that's why I got rid of a lot of the potions and things that we had before. I still do have a couple health ones, which these are actually lower level ones, but they will definitely help out if we get into a bind and I need just that extra little boost. And like if I'm not paying attention or something, I can definitely pop one of those and then throw up my innervate and my extra heals or whatever I need to do. But because these guys are actually not giving the heavy leather, I don't know if I'm going to continue questing in this area. I mean, obviously I might at least finish out these quests and then move forward from there, but I don't know if I want to try getting the leather working up first, because obviously what I've been doing is I've been holding on to all the leather I'm getting now, the thick leather and the thick hide, because after the heavy leather use and the heavy hide use, we are going to end up going into the thick leather, needing that to craft and everything. But once you come into this area, we didn't see this the last time, these two guys here were right here at the very front. They are the ones that gave me the 2 quests. It looks like there's another quest over here and one more over here. This one shows that it's for a dungeon, so that's why I didn't pick it up. I did not pick up the ones over here just because I'm going to have to make my way down to this area anyway while I'm killing stuff. And then I obviously did not pick up the one here, but it looks like that's just part of the Lunar Festival event that's going on. That's why it says event there. And as you guys can see, I think I mentioned it in the last one, but I wanted to touch on it again. We did get rid of a lot of our add-ons here. We switched from Carbonite back over to Questy because it is working now, and I like the fact that it actually shows me where the quests are and where the actual objectives are, as far as like the mailbox, the flight master, and then each individual, like, hey, there's a mob that spawns here that gives you items for this quest. There's a mob that spawns here. And then if I didn't know about the guy that's here for the event, I would, if I came this way to go into the dark portal once we're ready to go in there, I might actually miss that guy, but thankfully it actually shows it on here. And then if you are in an area where there's actual dungeons or anything, and you actually want to do the dungeon, it does have things like this for the meeting stone. That is to summon other people and everything. But if you take a look back, let's see, Hinterlands, you can see here that I have had an extra quest that I probably would have never known was there if I didn't go into that corner. But putting the questy back on it told me, hey, there's a quest down here. The only reason that one is still a question mark is because, as you can see, that is also for a dungeon, guys. There's also a world boss up here that I did not point out. That is another one of those 4 dragons. So we have one up here in the Hinterlands. Then we have the one in Darkshire, which is here. We have... not there. Where's the other one? I'm thinking... let me see. Darkshire, Hinterlands. It's not Ashara, is it? It's not Ashara. No, it's next to Ashara. It's actually over here in Ashenvale. So there's one up in this area over here, which we did not go because it's not hard to get up in here, but right here at the entrance there are a lot, and it does the same thing for the other area except they're a little further back. But there are dragonkin guys here that actually are question marks to me still. I think all of these guys, that is for a level 40 or level 60 40-man raid. At least that's what the dragons were initially set up for. So getting past those dragons is going to be extremely hard at my level, so it won't even let me discover that without dying. And then I don't remember where the 4th one is. Once we come across him, though, I will definitely point it out as far as where he is. But I honestly, off the top of my head, like I said, I can't remember just because I have not played this in some time, guys. I'm trying to look around and see if anything... Actually, it's not here, is it? I want to say it's over here, but no, that's not right. That's not right. There are dragonkin back here, as far as I remember, but I don't think that is where the last dragon is. Let me see here. Badlands. Where is Red Ridge Mountains at? That's Badlands. Wetlands. Rathley Highlands. Where's it at? Burning Steps. Is it in Burning Steps? I don't remember, guys. I'll have to look it up and I'll at least let you guys know. Obviously, if you guys know where it's at, some of you may off the top of your head because, you know, a lot of people are dedicated to this game. Like I said, I haven't played in forever, though, so I'm sorry that I don't know it off the top of my head, but I do know there's a 4th dragon. There's definitely 4 dragons around. I want to say, this is just a guess, but I want to say it actually might be over in Ashara, which is next to the place we were just looking at. So there's the one here, and then if you come over here to Ashara, I want to say there's one here somewhere. But I'm thinking that the one here is only a ghost, and he's there for a quest. I don't think he's an actual active entity that you can actually attack. At least not that I remember. And I want to say that the 4th one is somewhere on this island over here, because I think there's 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and then that was part of Wrath of the Lich King, so that's not even counting the 4 dragons before the whole thing started. This is going to end up being the next area that we go into, though. So this is Ungoro Crater, and this is what actually intrigued me, if that's how you want to word it, to moving back to leatherworking, because I ran through here and it's definitely a higher level than me. A lot of these guys are question marks, but I wanted to get the flight path just because I was down in the Syphilis area and I came through here. So I was like, you know what, let me get the flight path here. So I grabbed this one. I think I did. I mean, I have the thing all the way to there. I think I grabbed it. I might have died trying to get over to it, and then I ended up giving up. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I grabbed the one in Syphilis. Then I came over to Ungoro Crater, and I tried getting the one here, which I definitely succeeded, but it made me see one of the Devil Sword guys, and I remembered that I used to farm him, and I couldn't remember why, but I actually looked it up, and you can actually get Devil Sword leather from him, which is actually a really good pants item, or trousers if that's what you want to call them, but it gives you a really good pant item that you can use for your leggings in the game, especially as a feral druid. So I was like, should I switch back over to that, or should I just go ahead and, you know, kill him when I have the chance and just sell the leather, or what? And then, like I said, I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, I was like, let me go ahead and switch back over to leatherworking, just because at the moment, like I said, there's not too many low levels or anything like that, so I want to be able to craft my own gear and not have to worry about, you know, do I go and buy more gear out of the auction house? Do I go and, you know, try to bargain for an item, or do I start farming? Like, what should I do about getting new pieces of gear? And I figured, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and craft it ourselves, that way I don't have to worry about it, and we can go from there. So that's the story behind that. Once we're not able to craft our items so much, or as far as like if we start falling behind in our leatherworking and it's stuff that we can only get out of like dungeons and you can't buy it because it's bind on pickup and things like that, at that point, that's when I'll look at actually going back to the not leatherworking, the jewel crafting and the mining. So we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure yet, but more than likely that is what's going to happen. Like I said, we're going to end up with the mining and the jewel crafting. And it looks like we are going actually into the higher leather, because that rugged leather is definitely higher than the thick. So it goes heavy, then thick, and then it goes to the rugged leather, which, where'd it go? There it is, rugged leather. So we have 12 of those. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and go to a lower level area. So it's probably going to actually be a while before I get level 50. And like I said, even on top of that, we don't have the double, or not double XP, but we don't have the 50% XP anymore. But as you can see, I have been off for a couple of days as far as, you know, doing stuff with work and everything like that. So we do have a lot of rested XP. So if you look down here, you can see the blue bar. It actually goes all the way past here, because there's not the little thing that's here. So what that means is once I kill enough of these guys, and it actually takes me into that next level, what's going to happen is this blue bar is going to continue into the next level, and probably here somewhere in the front, because I don't think it goes too far into the next level, but probably here in the front you'll see the little bar, and it'll go up to that point, and then it'll take me back to the regular leveling instead of giving me the double XP. But this is what I was talking about before, where you can actually catch up if you are off for a couple of days because of work, or, you know, things that happen in life, you know, whatever the case may be. So it definitely helps you catch up with your friends, and you don't have anything to worry about. But all these quests that I got here, the whole reason I keep running back to this point is because these two guys are the ones that gave me all of these quests. And then obviously, like I said, we can quest in the other areas and everything. So running back this way actually takes us to the Swamp of Sorrows. I don't think this is going to give heavy leather, but there are some actual... where do we go? There are some actual dragonkin along this area over here that might give it to us. So we're going to go and try to kill those guys because they're not going to be hard to take down. They're not question marks like the other ones. And we're going to see if we can actually get some heavy leather from there. But like I said, the only reason I'm doing that is so that we can actually get the heavy leather and we can level up our leather working so that we can get into making either the tribal or the elemental leather working. But also, like I said, it is definitely going to be the elemental leather working, because if we go into tribal, that's not going to be for us. And obviously, I mean, it'd be beneficial to make that armor for someone else, but at the same time, the whole reason we switch back to leather working is to make it for ourselves, not for the money. And then we can still get money off of the regular leather working, because, I mean, like I said, there's not too much actual leather working out there, or at least not for the lower levels, so we can always go back and farm getting like light leather and things like that, and we can take those and turn them into leather for, or not leather, but I mean they're already going to be leather, but we can get full stacks of those. We can put them into the auction house and go from there and see about how much we're going to be getting per stack. So that is a horde place right there. Some of these guards are question marks. You have to be careful running around this. But this whole area, I want to say, is like 32 to 38, somewhere around there. And the guards, I got too close there, so they're going to come after me. But yeah, so like even these guys here, like these 36s and 38s and stuff, we can actually kill them. They definitely drop heavy leather. So I'll show you guys crocodile. I was going to say, if the guards are still coming, I wasn't thinking about it. So kill him, pick up his mystery meat, and heavy leather. Thick leather, really? And that's what, 30? That was 38? So let's try... I think there were lower levels back this way. That's his spider, he's not going to get leather. That is not even something that drops leather, period. I'm going to need to cross this bridge over here. That's at 36. He might drop it. Let's go check with this beast over here. So anything that's considered a beast or a dragon can drop leather.
Enough energy. I don't. Not enough.
Yeah, and like I said, I spammed a bunch of those. Alright, let's see what you got here. There we go. So yeah, so we need to stick under level 36, maybe even 37. But yeah, we'll start killing stuff in this area. There's actually some dragonkin over in this area too. They're like really little small ones, like whelplings. They're actually green dragons. So with that being said, this item right here, these green whelp bracers, we actually may be able to get green whelp scales off of them, and heavy leather when we skin them, so we might actually be able to make this. If we do make that, I don't know if I want to equip it, just because we are losing the agility, but we're also gaining crit and hit rating, so it's going to be iffy. We'll at least, if we get the items, perfect. If not, I'm not going to, you know, try to get those, because more than likely we're going to out-level this pretty soon anyway. That's only a level 33 item. So I'm not really worried about it. If we get them, fine. If not, whatever. Either way, I'll probably craft at least one of those if we get the items, just to see how our stats change, and because it'll help level our leather working. But other than that, guys, that is why I'm still at level 45. I'm going to push very hard to try to get to level 50 by the next video, but I don't have promises here. Just because, like I said, we are still at least trying to catch up our leather working to us. So I'm going to be farming in this area for probably the next couple of days, and we're not even getting XP out of this because these guys, well actually the 37s and higher are green. So if they're gray like the one I just killed, let's see here. Oh, that is, so that's actually a rare spawn, guys. I've been looking for one of these for a while. So when you click on them and they have this silver dragon around it like that, that is actually a rare spawn. Let's go ahead and kill him real quick and see what he drops. They won't always give you good items, but rare spawns usually drop at least a green item. Rarely do they drop blue items, but it's definitely possible to get pretty good items off of them. And since he's 42, it actually may be an item we can use. So that's that's going to be interesting because I think those are rare spawn.
I don't have enough energy.
So fingers crossed, guys. Let's see what he got. So we got a green item there. I don't think that's going to be for us though because it's of the eagle. But let's see. Yeah, so it's not for us. It's definitely an improvement as far as like for the armor. I mean, it would be going from 23 to 29. The stamina would be good, but the intellect isn't really going to help us, and I'd still rather keep the agility. I'm not gonna exchange agility for 6 armor that we're losing. And we don't really need the stamina over spirit. Spirit will actually help us get back our mana while we're in the form. So we'll go ahead and stay with what we're at, but that's an item there that we can actually throw in the auction house, especially with it being the 39. So like I talked about before, if you're looking for trying to be a twink, usually those are ending in 9, so 19, 29, 39, things like that. This may be a really good item for a twink. Obviously twinks aim for blue items or higher, because that's definitely possible for them. But if this is what they can get for now while trying to move up into that blue item, they may actually buy this out of the auction house. So we'll go ahead and hold on to that and we'll see what happens. But what I was talking about when I was going into that, if we click on one of these guys, you see how this number is gray. So what this means is we can still kill him. Obviously it's not going to be an issue at all. But if you look down here, we're at 75,843. When we actually kill him, if I'm not mistaken, it's not going to be any experience at all, guys. So yeah, we're still at 75,843. If you want to kill stuff and you want to get experience from it, it has to be at least a green enemy here. So the number has to be at least green. So it looks like 37 and higher is where we're still getting XP. Now I will say if you're killing red items, you do get a little more XP than if you're killing yellow or green. But at the same time, reds, because they technically take longer to kill, your best option is to stick with a high green or a low yellow. Those are the ones you can be able to kill the fastest and proceed forward with still getting XP off of them. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Like I said, just a real short video. Just wanted to give you guys an update as to why I'm still only level 45. We're going to try to see what we can do at least about getting our leather working past 225. Because I think we can, like I said, start doing the elemental leather working and things like that. But we're going to have to look into that and see what our cap is at our level. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks for joining me. Definitely appreciate all of you. Thank you for all the subs recently. Definitely a good thing. Still haven't gotten any feedback on the series as far as, you know, if you guys are enjoying it or not, but I am getting quite a bit of views. I'm getting, you know, some decent likes and everything, so I definitely appreciate that. It is letting me know that you guys are at least enjoying it, whether it's you guys or someone at least coming in and doing it on the channel and then just leaving. But yeah, I appreciate all of the love you guys are giving. If you guys want to know how often I'm posting everything, make sure you guys are putting or clicking on the notification bell icon. It will tell you every time that I post a video, and proceed from there. But thanks again, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.